So on one side we have Lord Meghnad Desai and MJ Akbar, national spokesperson of the BJP. We have Dr. Omkar Goswami, economist and founder and chairperson of Kirk Advisory Private Limited. They're all part of our budget panel this time. Pawan Verma of the JDU has a contrary view. Rita Brata has the contrary view. And I think Dr. Balachandra Mungekar, I'd like to start with you. I think you have a contrary view. You're a member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha of the Congress Party. Now are you just opposing for opposing's sake? Because it appeared to me, and I showed the pictures of that political pumpkin sent by the Congress Party, and run the pictures again. There's some pumpkin called Mukesh Sharma, who was sent to block by the Congress Party to block the railway minister's car, do that drama, and then he dropped that nameplate. He did all that tamasha. You know, are you doing tamasha for tamasha's sake because you are not willing to accept that here is a government which will not treat the Railways Ministry as some kind of a giveaway goodies ministry, which will not make announcements and not do anything to them, which will not just announce new lines and not have the money for them, that there is a new bold political logic which says that we will not, like the Congress Party destroyed the Indian Railways. You destroyed the Indian Railways systematically over 10 years.
No.
We will not allow the destruction of the Indian Railways. Omkar Goswami coming to the Congress Party's defense.
The Congress Party
unexpected. Go ahead.
Congress Party systematically, after Madhav Rao Scindia, destroyed the Indian Railway for 2 decades.
For 2 decades?
For 2 decades.
Yeah.
And I will talk about this in greater detail.
I thought you were coming in the Congress defense.
No. Yeah. Completely and methodically. But having said so, it's also a case that whenever you had coalitions, the worst possible minister among your alliance became a railway minister. The only small sign of a person who was moving in the right direction, but he was snuffed out before he could sneeze, was Dinesh Trivedi.
Yeah, so there you are. You, in fact, thanks for coming in on that. So Balachandra Mungekar, Omkar Goswami extends my argument here today. You destroyed the Indian Railways not for 10 but 20 years, he says, and now you can't accept the fact, even grudgingly, that there is a government which is having to undo all the things that you did wrong. That it giving up the populism, understanding the railways needs to be brought back on its feet and has the courage to do it.
4 people: Barkat Ghani Khan Chaudhary, the Nitish Kumar, Lalu Yadav, and Mamata Banerjee. The interesting thing is 1 from Malda, 1 from South Bengal, and 2 from Bihar. Okay,
Balachandra Mungekar, ball is in your court right now.
See, I think with all regards to your question is misplaced. See, whatever Sharma has done, it is absolutely disgusting, and I don't approve that at all. But please, for heaven's sake, don't consider that was the deliberate decision taken by the Congress Party, because you have uttered the name of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi again and again.
Yeah, because she's the head of your party. Yeah, it's not a crime to take Sonia Gandhi's name, is it? What are you saying here?
No.
You're saying you've taken the Queen's name or something.
It was not, Mr. Goswami. My only point is, it was not the party's decision, and I said and
forget that. Come to the point. Your mindless populism is history.
No, because
answer the point today.
That is my point. Answer the point. I ask all the panelists, Mr. Meghnad Desai, Mr. Omkar Goswami, Mr. MJ Akbar, and including you. First, you start define what the term populism means. Do you mean that the expenditure which is made on the poor people, those who are depending upon the public exchequer for the provision of the basic essential
let MJ
on the basis of which Rangarajan committee has estimated? Please, don't disturb. My only point is, without defining populism, you can't generalize the discussion. You first define. I ask all the panelists, including Mr.
MJ Akbar.
First, you define what is the meaning of populism.
MJ Akbar.
Do you mean that Mahatma Gandhi Employment Guarantee Scheme? No, 1 minute. Do you think National Employment Guarantee Scheme is populist? Do you think that National Food Security is populist? Do you think that National Rural Health Mission is populist? Do you mean that Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is populist?
I thought we were talking about railways.
I thought we were talking about the railways.
Just keep the topic on railways and answer a simple question. Do you have data to prove that in the last 2 decades, the railways have not been run to ground by populism and complete lack of investment.
Well, Mr. Mungekar asks a question which actually MJ Akbar should respond. He asks the question, what is populism? Now, I'll tell you one thing, sir.
May I answer
Before I answer the question of what is populism, MJ Akbar will answer that. I ask you a question, what is a scam? I ask you a counter question. What is a scam? You know what a scam is? A scam is, sir, when in the last 10 years, 99 new line projects worth 60,000 crore rupees are sanctioned, out of which only one project is complete to date. This is, in my view, sir, the next big scam which is going to hit your ex-government. I think it's the next big scam. 60,000 crores, 99 rail line projects cleared, 10 years passed, only one project complete. You cheated the country, Mr. Mungekar. You systematically cheat the country. Don't shoot off the shoulders of the poor people of this country. MJ Akbar responding on what is populism. Asked Balachandra Mungekar. Mr. Akbar, your turn now.
Arnav, thank you very much for answering the question. I was going to define populism basically, essentially, and emphatically as telling lies to the people. And what you have just insisted, that is precisely the example that I was going to give. You told the people that 399 projects were going to come in the last 10 years, out of which you know it, only one has actually been implemented and completed. So 398 have been lies or variations of lies. That is populism. Populism is telling people that you're going to give them food and instead you give them filthy kitchens. You give them food which is inedible and which probably make you sick. Populism is making and throwing, figments of imagination into there which you know in your heart and in your balance, in your books, that you cannot ever achieve. I'd like to use this opportunity to explain what
full-blown attack
is about.
And MJ, I want to just add one more thing.
This budget is about, it is part of the architecture of a new economy. This budget should not be seen only in isolation. It is part of the Modi vision.
But why does that Modi vision? No, where was the Modi vision till recently? No, I want to take issue both. No, Mr. Akbar, there is an accusation against you. There is an accusation against you. Rita Prata puts his hand up. Omkar. No, one second. We have fantastic speakers on Newshour tonight, and Meghnad Desai will come. I'll come to you. That stoic expression on your face, the patience with which you're listening to the debate. My question, no, sir. Omkar Goswami.
One sentence.
No, you can't. You're all dominating the debate.
Sorry, one sentence.
Yeah, Pawan Verma must be allowed to speak.
Populism has had one denouement, and the denouement is that party that loved populism got 44 seats in the Lok Sabha.
Really? And the BJP used to hate populism, is it? You're saying to me, Omkar Goswami, I have so much personal regard for you. You're saying the BJP used to hate populism. I ask you here today, if we define populism, is populism a post-general election result invention of the BJP? If users need to pay is the economic vision of the NDA government, Pawan Verma, Rita Brata, come in. Then doesn't that go against the very grain of the past rhetoric in which the BJP complained about the common man being burdened? You are now congratulating yourself for your fiscal prudence, but if prudence, Pawan Verma, were the cornerstone of the BJP's philosophy, why didn't they take back the previous government why did they take on the previous government when it was undertaking similar measures? Now, you must, either you accept tonight. Either you accept tonight. We are populist, but we are not populist, but we are also hypocritical. Make that acceptance tonight.
No, Arnab, let us...
Pawan Verma.
Just give me a minute, Arnab.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to explain.
Go ahead.
There is no doubt that sterile populism is not what this nation requires. There is equally no doubt about the fact that the railways are drastically in need of a revamp and overhaul. Let's take that as given.
Agreed.
About populism, I think what the BJP is doing is to talk of the poor man, the common man, and reverse populism now in favor of the elitist. The elite, the already privileged.
Oh.
unless you are in a fantasy land, Arnab, you cannot build the first floor of a house without the ground floor and the foundation. The successful cannot succeed to form their own republic. This is India. A vision of Japan cannot be transplanted in a slum in Delhi or Mumbai. The truth of the matter is, we can have this vision of the 21st century and bullet speed trains. But the real truth is that the common man, it's a lottery for him every time he travels in a train. His plight actually is to even travel inside a toilet with a family, with no facilities guaranteed, and one of your strategies is to burden that common man even more. I put to you the charge
hype, you know that
this budget. Let me finish one sentence more. Let me finish one sentence more, sir. Let me finish one sentence, sir. Please be fair to your panelists. Please be fair to your panelists.
Sir, two panelists want to take you on here. By the way, I'll come to Rita Brata next after.
This budget is economically elitist, and let me say to you, geographically discriminatory. Large swathes of this country have been excluded from its purview.
That's typical standard thinking. What kept out of the purview, Pawan Verma? What kept? How? Answer my question. 99
ministers from Bihar always made Patna, Munger, the important parts of railway budget. Ghanikant Chaudhary made Malda the most important part of the railway budget.
What did it do?
Only difference is they did nothing for railways. They just created employment in those areas.
That it has come with a new vision. It has come with a new vision. I salute.
No, I'll come back to you.
The budget has
Pawan, I respect you.
Let's have a reasonable discussion.
Pawan, I respect you and I'll come back to you and I will take your thing apart.
Okay, one second. If the railway budget is an indication of Modi's economic vision, the question also will be, how consistent is this vision? Meghnad Desai, I'll come to you. Feel it's an open debate, please. Feel free to come in. You don't have to show any of the panelists,
and
including
to raise
me.
The budget fares for the
Meghnad Desai,
budget.
No, on a lighter note, Meghnad Desai, you don't have to show any of the panelists, certainly not yours truly, any special respect. My question is, if tough decision making is the new economic philosophy of the Modi government, fantastic. Why did they then roll back the suburban fare hike in Mumbai? Or is the users need to pay argument not valid for election bound states? Yes, Meghnad Desai. After that, Rita Brata. Yeah.
If somebody raises fares all over the country to eliminate a deficit of 33,000 crores and make 8,000 crores for the railways net, and in a small part of the country, a metropolitan rail withdraws the rail fare, don't be so harsh.
Why?
That it has to be completely 100% like that.
No. Then the same logic must apply.
Okay, there is a bit of populism.
So a little bit of populism where it suits you politically is fine.
Of toughness and 2.5%. Yeah, no. I think
as long as the BJP does it, it's okay.
Can do
if
with
the Congress
zero
does
populism.
it, it's not okay.
But BJP. Listen. BJP used to be populist, but this government is going to be as little populist as possible. And the meaning of populism is promising things which you can't pay for.
Right, so if doing...
And you won't pay for.
Okay, fantastic.
And you'll run a deficit. And you'll get into debt. And you'll increase taxation. That is populism.
No.
That is populism.
No, if that is the populism...
And don't talk about the poor and elitism and all that. Pay for what you have.
Yeah, pay for what you have. Then I want to know. Will the government reduce...
Pay for what you have.
No, government will reduce the number of LPGs.
Don't promise Narega. Don't promise Narega to basically siphon the money off to your middle-level Congress candidates.
Sir,
if you promise Narega, deliver Narega.
Sir, if you want to do away with populism...
That is populism.
Sir, if you want to do away with populism and that is the economic philosophy of the government...
I'm not in politics.
Then I'd say... No, one sec. Then I'd say reduce the number of LPG cylinders, deregulate diesel prices, streamline all the UPS, streamline all the UPS social welfare schemes, cut down the money spent on Manrega.
As you know,
cut down the money, spent on the National Rural Health Mission.
Both Meghnad and I have loudly spoken about the crime of subsidizing LPG.
No LPG.
So you are economists.
Subsidy.
You are both economists.
LPG subsidy.
You are both economists.
Eventually,
remove subsidies from the
LPG
poor and
subsidy.
subsidize the rich. You can't take an ordinary train from Delhi to Kolkata without the fear of an accident and bring in bullet speed trains. Let's proceed systematically. The railways need
I want to make
a
a
revamp at the ground level, not a superstructure that emulates
Don't
Japan.
be silly. Pawan Verma,
Megna, don't use expletives. I can use them for you also. What do you mean by don't be
most of the
silly?
railway ministers, what I want to say is that the railway ministers who made the trains dangerous
Civility,
were all the
Megna,
populist
civility.
ministers, many of them from Bihar, many of them went on cutting the fares without improving the railways. They went on piling up debt in the railways. They had no money to improve passenger facilities. All they did was promise new routes and cut fares. If you go on doing like that, then your trains become dangerous.
Pawan, I'm going to ask you to-
No, let's get Rita Prata.
People unfriendly. That is populism.
No,
That is populism.
No.
That is populism.
No. Okay. Rita Prata
want to
wants
know
to
what
come in. After
populism
that,
is? I'll
MJ
tell you
Akbar
what
will
populism
defend.
is.
You see, the
You
government...
travel by train and you'll see what
Restructure the
populism is.
railways as per your elitist vision on the shoulders of the poor commuter.
I just want to make
Rita
my point.
Prata.
First of all, Arnab, rail is a public transport. First of all, we have to be clear about that. Rail is essentially and basically in our country, it's a public transport, and public transport must have public characteristics. Without public characteristics, you cannot have public transport. And public transport throughout the world, throughout the globe, it needs budgetary allocation, it needs support from the government. Government cannot withdraw from public transport. Now this budget, the government's first railway budget, this budget is a cosmetic one. High on rhetoric and low on substance. The government has spoken about the high-sounding bullet trains. There are rhetoric about commercial freight corridors. There are packages. The industry is very interested because you are speaking about FDI. But the question is of the common man. The majority of the India, the suffering India,
And FDI
shining
in
India,
which
people
sector
of
of the
shining India.
railways?
People of shining India don't travel in Indian railways. It is suffering India to travel on railways. We have to depend on railways. And this entire budget is basically a manifestation. It is a blueprint for privatization of the Indian railways. Everything has been done. The framework, it has been created to privatize the entire railway sector. don't support mindless populism. What is wrong has been wrong. Because as I come from Bengal, I have heard in my state, one of the ex-railway ministers speaking about 16 railway factories that have been established, but I was unable to find any such factories in my state. I have heard that 500 super specialty hospitals will be created in the country, but I don't want to go into that. Those mindless populism needs to be objected. But the point is...
No, Rita Prata. Let's move beyond Bengal, please.
Okay.
No, 1 minute. No, we are talking about prudence, right? I have one question for MJ Akbar. I'll rest my case if MJ Akbar and Omkar Goswami can give me a satisfactory explanation. Because I find that in this panel today, the right-wing thinkers are MJ Akbar, Omkar Goswami and Meghnad Desai. So they are one lobby. And the other three of you are concerned about what's going to happen to the poor. See, MJ Akbar is so happy that he has your support. But my question is very simple.
We are concerned about the poor as well.
No, let me ask.
We are concerned about the poor as well. Hang on, Arnab.
Your definition of the poor is not my definition of the problem.
The poor have been suffering.
Comforts.
My question is...
The poor... My definition of poor is not people who get LPG.
Really?
I don't think LPG consumers are poor.
You want us to go back to the Stone Age. You want us to go back to the Stone Age, but we won't.
Poor don't have LPG.
You want us to go back to the Stone Ages, but we won't.
Poor don't have LPG.
My question is, gentlemen, my question is this. Listen to my question. My question is the question everyone in this country is asking today. You speak about fiscal prudence, right? You speak about we have no money. Why are we having to put some of this load to the people have to pay? Because there is no money. So what do you do to trim your expenses, MJ Akbar? What do you do to trim your expenses? you go ahead and announce, one minute, what will be, if it happens, a 60,000 crore bullet train between Ahmedabad and Mumbai, even as you admit that bullet trains will require completely new infrastructure. So I don't understand it.
And Arnab, in China, they are
I don't understand this at all.
Because passengers cannot afford them.
Yeah, what are you saying? What's it?
Arnab,
No, explain the logic of the bullet, 60,000 crore rupee bullet train.
All your other panelists seem to believe they have both the questions and the answers. You know, one of the things that has been missed out in this debate is the huge investment in an area which has not been done in the last 10 years and perhaps longer, which is in the tracks and the condition of the tracks. Many of these visions that we have actually encapsulated and put forward would need careful monitoring and graded expenditures.
So where will the Mumbai-Ahmedabad money come from?
Number two,
watch.
Ordinary people.
No, watch it. Let's take the counter, then I'll come.